Nepal and China have been close neighbours since ages, not just on geographical ground, but also they share cultural and traditional values. Since the establishment of bilateral ties on August 1st of the year 1955, the relations have grown boundlessly in a dynamic and progressive manner. The 5 principles of peaceful coexistence are at the core of Nepal-China relations. Nepal has always adhered to the One China policy with strong commitment not to allow its land for any anti-Chinese activities. China has always reciprocated, respecting Nepal's sovereignty, territorial integrity and political independence. The 1st of August 2020 marks the 65th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two Asian nations. High-level visits from both the countries at different times have laced the relations with mutual trust and cooperation. Such visits and the growing popular level contact have further cemented the ties. The first ever high-level visit between Nepal and China was by the then Nepal's Prime Minister Tonko Prasad Acharya from September 25 to August 7, 1956. China's Premier Chao En-lai visited Nepal from June 25 to 28 of the year 1957. The then Prime Minister Bisheshwar Prasad Koirala gave continuity to the exchange of high-level visits between the two countries. During his official visit from March 11 to 21, 1960, Prime Minister Koirala held meetings with Chairman of Chinese Communist Party Mao Zedong, President Liu Shaoqi and Premier Chao En-lai. A joint statement issued upon completion of the visit committed on signing a peace and friendship treaty between the two countries during the visit by Chinese Premier Chao En-lai the same year, and opening of embassies in both the countries. During the visit, Prime Minister Bisheshwar Prasad Koirala and his Chinese counterpart signed the agreement between the Government of People's Republic of China and His Majesty's Government of Nepal on the question of the boundary between the two countries. Chinese Premier Chao En-lai visited Nepal from April 26 to 29, 1960. During the visit, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between the People's Republic of China and the Kingdom of Nepal was signed on April 28, 1960. Prime Minister Bisheshwar Prasad Koirala and Chinese Premier Chao En-lai signed the treaty. The then King Mahendra Shah visited China from September 28 to October 15. During the visit, the boundary treaty between the People's Republic of China and the Kingdom of Nepal was signed by King Mahendra and President Liu Shaoqi. Giving continuity to the exchange of high-level visits, Prime Minister Kirtinidhi Bishta visited China from November 15 to 25, 1972. Chinese Vice Premier Deng Xiaoping visited Nepal from February 3 to 6, 1978. The then King Birendra Shah and Queen Aishwarya Shah held a state visit to China in the year 1973, 1993 and in the year 2001. Likewise, King Gyanendra Shah held a state visit to China from 9th to 18th of July of the year 2002. Chinese President Jiang Zemin visited Nepal from December 4 to 5, 1996. That was followed by state visits by Chinese Premier Zhu Rongji from May 15 to 16, 2001 and Wen Jiabao on January 14, 2012. Nepal's Prime Ministers Girija Prasad Koirala, Manmohan Adhikari, Sher Bahadur Deuba, Pushpa Kamal Dahal and Madhav Kumar Nepal visited China at different times. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli visited China first on March 20 to 27, 2016. During the official visit, Prime Minister Oli called on Chinese President Xi Jinping and held meeting with Premier Li Keqiang. Along with other bilateral agreements, a landmark transit and transport agreement was signed during the visit. A 15-point joint statement marked the end of the visit. The then Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal visited China from March 23 to 27, 2017 to participate in the Boao Forum for Asia. Prime Minister Dahal addressed the business forum and went to Beijing and Lhasa during the visit. Prime Minister Dahal called on Chinese President Xi Jinping along with meetings with other high-ranking leaders. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli again visited China from June 19 to 24, 2018, which further cemented the age-old ties between the two nations. During the official visit, Prime Minister Oli called on Chinese President Xi Jinping and held meeting with his Chinese counterpart Li Keqiang. In course of the visit, the two sides agreed to intensify implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative to enhance connectivity, encompassing such vital components as ports, roads, railways, aviation and communications within the overarching framework of the Trans-Himalayan Multidimensional Connectivity Network. In this context, the understanding on railway connectivity support stands as a milestone in the history of bilateral cooperation between the two nations. In addition, 14 other bilateral agreements and understandings, including an agreement on energy cooperation, were signed during the visit. Besides Beijing, Prime Minister KP Oli also visited China's autonomous region of Tibet and held talks with leaders there. The year 2019 has proven historic in terms of mutual exchange of bilateral visits. The state visit of President Vidya Devi Bhandari to China from 24th April to 1st of May 2019 and the consecutive state visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping to Nepal from 12th to 13th October of the same year have added qualitatively to the bilateral relations. In course of the state visit to China, President Vidya Devi Bhandari had participated in the inauguration of the second Belt and Road Forum as well as the Leaders' Roundtable. The President addressed both the forums. President Vidya Devi Bhandari had held a bilateral talk with her counterpart Xi Jinping. On the occasion of this visit, dossiers including the 2016 Trade and Transit Protocol and other important agreements were signed. The protocol of the Agreement on Transit and Transport has established Nepal's access to 3 land harbours and 4 seaports of China. In addition, the joint statement issued towards the end of the second Belt and Road Forum incorporates Nepal-China Trans-Himalayan Multidimensional Connectivity Network, including Nepal-China cross-border railways. The year also saw the historic presidential visit of China to Nepal held in an interval of 23 years. The age-old friendly relationship between the two neighbours entered into a stage of strategic partnership from this visit, only taking support to Nepal's economic and social sectors. Under bilateral support, China has been extending hand to Nepal's road infrastructure construction and improvement, energy, hydropower, human resource development, health, education, and social as well as security sectors. Chinese President Xi Jinping, in course of his visit to Nepal, announced to avail Nepal government a support of 3.5 billion RMB from 2020 to 2022 for economic and social development. Nepal has proposed for identifying projects and thereafter signing financial agreements under the support soon. Of the 3 billion RMB availed by the Chinese government to Nepal's post-earthquake reconstruction, 2 separate agreements worth 1 billion each were signed in the year 2016-17 and 2018 for the reconstruction of 25 projects, 1 billion rupees each. Of these, 11 reconstruction projects have been completed and 14 are in the phase of implementation. Araniko Highway Construction and Renovation, Prithvi Highway, Narayangarh Mugling Road, Gorkha Narayangarh Road, Kathmandu Ring Road construction and the first phase of upgradation, Pokhara Baglung Road, reconstruction of friendly bridges at Rasuwagadi and Tatopani, Sunkosi hydropower as well as electricity transmission line, BP Koirala Memorial Cancer Hospital. Construction and renovation of Civil Servants Hospital, sports complexes at Kathmandu and Lalitpur, the reconstruction of Dasharath Stadium, reconstruction of International Sports Centre in Saddobato, installation of solar power at Singhadarbar as well as construction of dry port at Tatopani are among the major China-supported projects in Nepal. Upper Tamakosi Hydropower Project, Pokhara Airport Construction Project, Dry Port Construction at Timure of Rasua, Siaprubesi Rasua Highway Renovation and Upgradation Project, Kathmandu Ring Road Improvement Project 2nd Phase, Rehabilitation Project of the 9-story palace in Basantapur, Kathmandu Darbar High School Reconstruction Project, Sindhupalchok and Rasua Dolkha Public School Upgradation Project, Public School Upgradation Project in Sindhupalchok and Rasua as well as in Dolkha, Nuakot Darbar Renovation Projects are among the ongoing projects based on Nepal-China bilateral support. Nepal-China Cross-Border Railway, Tokha Chahare and Betravati Siaprubesi Tunnelway, construction of Madan Bhandari Science and Technology University are some of the proposed projects under bilateral support. The Chinese government has been extending support to sectors like education, health, food and others in order to uplift the living standards of people in the 15 districts adjoining its autonomous region of Tibet. An agreement on support under the Belt and Road Initiative BRI was signed between Nepal and the People's Republic of China on May 12, 2017 in Kathmandu. The government of China has been providing scholarships to civil servants and students of Nepal for trainings and academic studies in China. Sister city relations have been established between 13 cities of Nepal and China so far. There is no doubt the bilateral relations between Nepal and the People's Republic of China will be more vibrant, strong and close in the days to come.